The Life of Jesse James, 1847 to 1882. Jesse James was born on September 5, 1847 in Clay County, Missouri. Jesse had a brother named Frank. As teenagers, Jesse and Frank grew up seeing a lot of violence and fighting in their hometown over the Kansas-Nebraska Act. So, when the American Civil War began, Jesse and Frank fought in the war through guerrilla warfare, most likely because of the brutality they witnessed when they were younger. During the Civil War, Jesse and Frank were part of the Quantrill Gang, founded by William Quantrill. The Quantrill Gang is remembered for the raid on Lawrence, Missouri in 1863, where various gangs killed over 150 leaders that supported anti-slavery. When the war ended and the gang disbanded, Jesse decided to become an outlaw because he liked the freedom and the fighting, and he was still trying to do justice for the South. So, in 1866, Jesse formed his own gang with Frank, the four younger brothers, Wood and Clarence Height, and Bill Chadwell. They were the first to commit many types of robberies. The James Gang was the first to commit a bank robbery in broad daylight. The gang stole over $100,000 from a bank in Liberty, Missouri in 1866. They were also the first gang to commit successful train and stagecoach robberies. Jesse felt very proud of his robberies and would publicize his crimes. He once announced to an entire town that he had just robbed a bank, and then rode off before anyone could stop him. Many people were becoming aware of the James Gang because of the types and large numbers of robberies that they committed. John Newman Edwards was a journalist that saw the good in the crimes of the James Gang. He promoted the gang and convinced many others that the gang was in fact robbing for the good of the South and that they were heroes. Edwards is an important contributing factor to why Jesse James is so famous today. The James Gang was so influential that the Pinkertons National Detective Agency had to be called to stop them. The Pinkertons had a reputation for being successful, but still failed to catch the infamous James Gang. The Pinkertons attempted to kill the gang by setting Jesse's home on fire, but only killed Jesse's stepbrother, Archie. People sympathized with the gang because of what happened, and the Pinkertons quit their search for the gang. On September 7, 1876, the James Gang attempted to rob a bank in Northfield, Minnesota. Citizens and employees brought out their guns and started shooting at the gang before they could rob the bank. 2 members of the gang and 1 bank employee were shot and killed. Jesse and Frank managed to escape out west, where they started a new life. The James brothers attained fake names and fake jobs out west while living off money from their robberies. Jesse later married his cousin and had 2 children, but in 1879, Jesse needed money and wanted to be an outlaw again, so he formed a new gang. By then, Jesse's new gang consisted of himself, Frank, and some small-time robbers, including Bob and Charlie Ford. People no longer liked the gang, so rewards were created for anyone who captured or killed a gang member. Bob and Charlie Ford were both tempted by the reward money. On April 3, 1882, Bob was having dinner in Jesse's home when he shot Jesse in the back of the head and killed him. Many people were upset about Jesse's death because he had become a legend to America. Jesse became even more famous after his death. Dime novels are short and exaggerated tales about the Wild West. Many stories were written about the James Gang, and Jesse was always portrayed as a hero. Jesse became famous through dime novels because so many children read these and wanted to be just like him. Other books and wild tales were written and told about Jesse James that people of all ages would read and hear. Many movies were also made about Jesse James. Over 25 movies have been created about the James Gang since 1920. Jesse James has really influenced society through his actions during the Civil War, the fame he acquired from his robberies, and the exaggerated stories written and told about him. These things have really made him into the legend that we know today.